Good morning, everybody. You are tuned to Computers 2K now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Manuel, your host for the next couple of hours, along with Gal.
Good morning, or shall I say good afternoon?
Well, it's your good afternoon for you, I know. Gal is coming to us from Israel. Our number is 919-518-9773, Computers 2K Voice on Skype. And today's show is made possible by Vmix Software, Dude in IT, and sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear. Wait a second, let me go there so everybody can see where you are. Oh, boy, look at that. Look
so
at
this is
that.
my quarantine room at my parents' house right now, because I arrived yesterday, so at least I have a good view.
That is beautiful. That is
Indeed.
beautiful. And that is in Haifa. Nice.
Yep.
Nice. Nice. Very nice. So you had a safe trip, an eventful trip.
Yep.
And the only thing is, see, that's what they do now. You're in Israel, you have to stay 2 weeks in quarantine, whether, positive, negative. If you're alive and you came into the country, you're in quarantine for 2 weeks.
Yes, the only way to change that is, so if I go today and get tested and the result is negative,
Yeah.
and then in about a week I go and get tested again and it is negative again, then I can shorten it from 14 days to 12 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But that means I'll get 2 extra days to visit family and friends, so it's okay.
So you're going to do it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I saw there's a place not too far from here, and I believe that by the time we're done with the show, I still have an hour to get there. My mom will be here with her car, so we'll drive there. Yeah.
Well, how is it outside in the street? Is it sort of like over here, or is it more deserted than, or more populated?
I wasn't in any city center right now, so I don't totally know there. Outside, there's very few people. I mean, I'm next to the beach, so this is a place that even during winter, like cold climate like here, you'll see people, walking, and there's very, very few.
Mm-hmm.
So it's in that term, it seems very familiar from back home. Restaurants are closed here, so they're not allowed to operate regularly, only takeaway and deliveries. And other than that, everything is by law stricter, but everything about people behavior is a lot lax, because people here do not like following annoying rules.
Yeah.
So it's like this give and take.
Oh.
Yeah. The airport was empty. Also, I came in a Shabbat, right? Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So that means very few places are open anyway, right, on top of everything. And because of the closure, then even places that would have been open, they probably choose not to work on this on the weekend because there's not a lot of foot traffic. So yeah.
And you don't really mind being in quarantine for.
I mean, I got a room to be in, right? There's a bathroom that I can use, right? Everything other than that, I'm not putting my parents at risk.
Mhm.
Uh, Keeping my distance. If I do go out to the house, then I just put a mask on uh, because what I care about is protecting them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. No,
I've
absolutely.
been sick in the past, so I'm pretty sure I will not get anything, but uh, I've been around an airport, right?
Mhm.
I'm not so worried about the airplane as much as the airport. The airplane itself is actually a very safe environment because it's such a small, confined, closed space. They use very refined air filters, and so even though you're breathing recycled air, the air goes through filters that kill 99% of any organism of any size, right? So that includes viruses. So the airplane itself, and they clean it like mad because of the whole regulation, um, FAA and international regulations about everything that came after uh, COVID got spread. So
Is it was
we're
it a,
okay.
was it an El Al plane or another company?
No, United.
Oh,
I don't think El Al flies to the States.
oh,
I think yeah, but I mean now with COVID.
yeah.
So
Oh well,
yeah,
glad to hear that everything is okay.
yep.
So, um, this week, Kathy came and she said that there are some people outside on the side of the street. I don't know what they're doing. It looks like they're digging. Well, they're running fiber on our side of the street.
Oh,
He
AT&T.
AT&T. He
Okay.
said the guy came over and explained what they're doing and all that. But it was very interesting. I mean, I'm used to like when they pulled the cable, the coax
Yeah,
spectrum from the street, from Jones Franklin all the way to our driveway. It was
yeah,
a one shot that they stuck a drill in the ground all the way in the corner, and it's like 300 yards that it went underground. And somebody was going in with a sensor and seeing
yeah.
that
To
it's
make sure
going the
not any
same.
in pipes.
No, not the pipes, that it's going in the right direction. And they could change.
Oh, an underground drill.
Yeah, yeah, underground
Ah,
that was
interesting.
going
No,
like,
that's not how they did it in Israel. Okay, that's interesting.
yeah, and it took them about probably 6 hours to drill and to run. I mean, the drill pulls the cable behind it, and
Yeah.
it bores the hole and it pulls the cable behind it about 2 feet under.
Wow,
It was
that actually sounds good. Like a fantastic idea. So
these guys. I don't know, and the the guy that came to talk with could not explain it, but they dug a hole like 6 foot under. I mean, when they finished digging, I could hardly see the head of the guy digging. He was inside.
okay,
It looks like every 50 feet.
okay.
And I said, why are they going to put a box every 50 feet? I mean, why are they doing it like every 50 feet?
No, they
So,
definitely don't need a box
no,
for
no, so
fiber.
they
Yeah,
don't. They also used some kind of an underground drill, but they go in the hole
mm,
down at the bottom. They stick it in the ground, and they had an air compressor, and there was some kind of a little a little box. I mean, a little box that was but that big
Okay.
that would grab the cable, and I could see the cable going. I mean, unwinding and going in the ground until it got to the next hole, and then they would go in the
Huh.
next hole, and I guess continue and continue and continue. It was
It's
really
like
strange.
how do you call that that blind creature that
Yeah, the
boys
voles, yeah. Oh
in
shoot,
Hebrew we call them chapaferet. I don't
yeah,
remember how they call it.
chafaferet.
Yeah.
Yeah, the same. It's the same kind of thing, but here they really don't. They really cannot direct it. It's they have to aim it right to begin with, and then it just keeps going straight. That's what he told me.
Interesting.
So
Very
it's
interesting.
it's uh it's very, yeah, it's very interesting.
Mole. A mole.
A what?
A mole. That's the name of
Yeah, a
the
mole. Yeah, that
yeah.
moles and voles. Yeah, yeah, it's like a mole, like a. So he did come and said that they're doing it for AT&T, and they left the cable, the spool out there because the city will not let them work during the weekend, and if it's okay with us, because it's right at the edge of the driveway. And I said, yeah, it's fine, leave it. I don't know when this is going to happen.
Well, from my experience, from the moment they lay down the infrastructure, it's usually between a month and 3 months
Wow.
that you get a notice
Yeah,
that you can connect.
we'll
Yeah.
see. I mean,
I know that with Google Fiber, it was much longer.
Mhm.
With Google Fiber, it took it's something like a year in between. But
Wow.
then AT&T came to the neighborhood, right? And they laid down their foundation, and about a month later, people could already register. So
But the other interesting part about it is that didn't make sense to me. He said, we're running it from the main street all the way down your street to an AT&T box. And I said, what do you mean? You're probably running something from that box that will connect to the main street. He said, no, they have some kind of a distribution box down your street. I think the box is right across the street from us. And he says, I don't know how they do it, but that they're taking it from there and bringing it out to the pole, and Sunday we will finish it and connect it to the pole. We'll run it up the pole. So it's exciting. I mean, so with AT&T now here, the maximum that I can get is 100 megabits.
the best thing about it, probably, right, is that once that will be available, actually, the fact that they're already digging, I would have you call Spectrum and
Yeah.
negotiate the price. I don't think you'll get a lower price, but what they do, they up the bandwidth that you already
We'll
have.
see. I'll see if they can, because last time when I called them to cancel, the most they could do was 400. So yeah, I'll call. I was thinking about this, and I want to
Because
see.
that's how it works. The moment
Yeah,
there's competition, they just match.
I was going
So
to call them and tell them to come and do something because hey, they're beating you. So we'll
well,
see. We'll see
yeah.
how it goes. Um,
Actually, you should call our friend Sarit. He switched to AT&T after they did something similar
mhm.
in his neighborhood. So
Yeah,
you can compare his experience with all of this.
but you see,
The,
with Nick, it was exactly the opposite. He went. Remember, he went with AT&T, but they couldn't fix him, so
yeah,
he switched back to Spectrum with lower speed, but he's happy.
but still, Spectrum is giving him a better deal than he would have had if AT&T
Probably,
wasn't in that neighborhood.
Yeah,
right?
probably. I just couldn't believe that
That's
when we cut the cord, and I told them I just want internet, and they were saying that it was going to be 69 something.
mhm,
And I said, okay, so what will be the next step? And that was 300.
yeah,
And I said, what's the next step? She said, 400. And I said, how much is that? She said, another $5. I'm saying,
yeah.
"Well, I mean, it's a no brainer. You know, $5. What,
I don't
and
know, man. I have to say, right? I'm a heavy internet user.
mhm,
I got a teenager at home. He's streaming all the time. He's also streaming out,
yeah,
right? Playing games. I have 100 megabit line.
right.
I don't need more. I don't know why people are always paying for extra for more than 100. I can buy a 1 gigabyte line. I don't want to. I don't want to. I want to be able to maximize the line I'm using,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
The internet company, they want me to pay more because they know most of these lines aren't utilized, but it helps them pay for their infrastructure, right? But hey, I I say let me use what I need, not what you need me to buy. So I don't know. I
um,
don't get the craving for more speed. I haven't found a single point where um, a 1 gigabyte line will give me more than what I already get. It's
mhm.
not like I'll get I'll maybe I'll wait 30 seconds instead of I don't know 40, right? I don't find that it's really required. And if me, right, a very demanding household, media and content and stuff, if I don't need it, then why do
The thing,
people always feel they need more?
let me first tell John, you say
Oh,
the A
I have an
word,
important chat.
play, the A word, play, tune in, computers 2K now. Try that. So you say, you tell her, you say her name, play, tune in, computers 2K now. The one thing a lot of people don't realize. I mean, you have 100 megabits, but it's 100 megabits by 100 megabits. The
Yeah,
ups,
I
the
got I got great upload. That's true.
right, the upper is very important also. I mean, if you have 100 by 5, that is not going to be as good as 100 by 100. As even when you're downloading, because there is always interaction up and down for the back channel. It's not a back channel. The
Control channels.
control channels. So if you are doing work on the internet and Chai's doing things on the internet and Maddie's doing things on the internet, you can use that up up bandwidth to the point that it's going to create a lot of latency. If you have 100 up, oh yeah, what do you need? Everybody's working like there's no tomorrow. So 100 megabits is much more than enough. I have a
Right. So
100.
you're saying the congestion that people feel
Yeah,
is usually just because their upload is limiting the
it,
amount of replies, acknowledgements that can go back
right.
to the other side.
Yeah, it's like you
I mean, I
standing.
can see that.
It's like you standing there, and you have 10 people talking to you at the same time. You can only get so much from each person. But if you have 5 people sitting next to you, and you are all taking information from the audience like that. So I take from these two, and you take from this two, and he'll take from the, and it's flowing, and it's a lot more effective. I somebody explained it to me years ago, and this is why I always ask him, what is the up speed? What's the up speed?
Yeah.
And the what everybody now is watching, unless you're going to Facebook, unless you're clicking the Facebook link under the video, is actually being fed through Spectrum. But the YouTube and Twitch and VIMM, they're going out through AT&T. So
Okay.
they're going, but it's only one feed that goes out at 100 megabits, actually at 20 megabits, and the caster.io is the one that feeds it. The thing is that it looks the same. It sounds the same. Everything is the same. But if I left only AT&T at 100 megabits and I do 24/7 streaming, and then I use it for myself, and I use it for the TV, and I use it for Kathy, before you know it, things are gonna slow down and go crazy. So right now, we're using Spectrum for everything in the house and work, and AT&T is dedicated to just the streaming.
Mm-hmm.
And it works much more efficiently that way. So yeah, you need, if you can get symmetric, then things will work much better. If you have the option to get 50 megabits and 100 megabits, but the 50 is with 10 up and the 100 is with 20 up, go with the 100 with the 20 up. And not just because you want to send files. Maybe you never send files, but when you talk, you also listen. When we talk to somebody, we also listen to see what's going on. When you do it on the internet, it's a whole lot more involved than that. It's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. When I look at the statistics of AT&T, because AT&T has a cap. That's one bad thing about AT&T. They cap you at 1 terabyte. I never go over it. It's fine.
For
But
upload or for download?
for both.
Really?
It's combined, yeah. You have 1 terabyte cap on traffic, up or down. It doesn't matter. So when I look at this, I see that I used 500 gig of upload because it's mainly uploading, and the download may be 2 or 3 gig. So, and I don't do anything on it to download. This is all just because of the traffic that it's streaming. It uses 3 gig of download. And that's this is where all this mechanism on the network is happening, and you need to say, okay, well, I need that speed. So always go for more, of course, with the limit, more upload than you think you need, because don't look just at the download. This is why yours at 100 megabit, 100 by 100 is absolutely. A T1 will do a great job because it's 1.54 both ways. We used to get speeds like crazy from a T1 that was better than the 1.5 when, I don't know if you were here then, when Spectrum or Time Warner started, they were only, the highest speed was 1.5 megabits. It was like a T1.
Yes. I wasn't here, but I was here in Israel when that happened.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And that was very slow compared to a T1. Because I had a T1 here for
because
the server.
It wasn't symmetric.
Yeah, that's symmetric. The 1.5 with the Time Warner was not symmetric. It was asymmetric.
Right, yeah.
So
125K or something
I
like
don't
that.
remember.
Yeah. Something, ridiculous. Something like dial-up modem speed for the
sort
upload
of,
or something like that. Yeah.
So yeah, that's that's important to know about this. And and we're talking about bandwidth. Google Fiber has made its 2 gigabit service widely available in Nashville, Tennessee, and Huntsville, Alabama. So here, 2 gigabits. Give me a break.
That's the thing. I don't see. I mean, I understand we as technology grows, there eventually there is going to be a need for it, right? I'm not saying nobody's ever going to need it. No, we heard the quotes about 640K being enough,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Right. So it's not. Um, but at the current point right now, even with 4K video, right?
Mhm.
We're not yet at the point where we're saturating 100
No,
megabyte
we're not.
connection, right?
Correct.
So it's great that these are available. It's actually great that these are going to be available at homes as well. I'm sure there's going to be some enthusiasts that are going to find what to do with it. Especially, I don't think we talked about it, but so there's a subreddit called data hoarders. I think I mentioned it in the past. Um, and what the main point of discussion in that subreddit is, as the name suggests, right? How do I fill up the space that I have? And one of the most interesting conversations they have there is, how do I do that and keep something that will not go away? So the pinnacle project that is probably quoted there the most is the Internet Archive, right? They started right off the bat. I mean, they started right around where Yahoo started, right? Right at the very beginning of the internet, they started aggregating and crawling the internet and keeping as much as they can for public access. And that's the mindset that lies behind these data orders. The only difference is all of the people there in the conversation, they're private people who just want, to take their part,
Mhm.
because there's something important for them, that they want to preserve and share. So there's this sharing discussion that is never, it is never about how do I get the latest blockbuster and copy it. It's not about piracy. It's about preservation. There is a group. I'll find the link in a moment. There is a group there that has an active project where what you can do is you can download their piece of software
Mhm.
and allocate some disk space on your machine. And what that does, it stores a piece of information that they are currently actively archiving, and stores it on your end. So you take part, you participate in this hoarding, as even if you can only give 1 gigabyte, right? You can only preserve 1 gigabyte for that. You will have a 1 gigabyte piece, and I'm pretty sure they have redundancy. So there's that gigabyte is going to be in multiple nodes, right? But as long as you're connected, your machine will be actively downloading, as long as you have space, will actively downloading a piece of it and report back to the project, hey, this piece is secure at my end.
Hmm.
Very interesting. Yeah, very interesting concept. So I started talking about it because you mentioned growing to 2 gigabyte lines,
Yeah.
right? I'm sure people will find out how to saturate their lines with stuff like that eventually. And I do think it is important that private people have the option to do that, right? But I mean, we're talking about the 1%. the 5%.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And these companies are trying to sell it as like, if you don't have it, you're nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
It's like that's
I can. I
to quote Bill Hicks is if you're in marketing, kill yourself.
no, like I said, streaming 24/7 each month, and I'm streaming at 2.5 megabits. One stream, granted, it's just one uses about 500 gig. It's not much, and it's not using a whole lot of the uh, upload speed because it's 2.5 megabits out of 20 gigabits. No, out of 20 megabits. What am I saying? So I'm streaming out and said that 2.5 megabits translates to about 3 megabits with all the traffic that is going back and forth. Even if it's using 5, you still have 15 megabits of cushion for uploads and most of your download, whatever it is. So it's not using, I mean, in order to saturate it, really, you're going to need a family with 3, 4, 5 kids watching their movies all the time, and it doesn't happen. It can happen in a lab, but not at home.
Right. Right.
So yeah, it's the speed. I mean, this is just. I mean, now for businesses, it's a different story. I mean, let's not get into that. Businesses do need more because of sending files back and forth, and a lot of people are sitting there. And I mean, you're not
Yeah, I
talking.
mean, a single line, you got more than 100 people
Yeah,
connected.
exactly.
You need, yeah, that's something completely different, of course.
Absolutely. So anyway, so that Google thing, new and existing Google Fiber customers in Nashville and Huntsville can choose either one 1 gigabit per second service for $70 a month, or 2 gigabit service for $100 a month. The latter is designed for power users, the latest devices and advanced smart homes that use lots of internet. You have a smart home. How much internet does the
Well, that funny that you asked, right? Because we were talking about how much I'm downloading and stuff. So I went to look at my router,
Yeah,
and so upload wise, I have a smart camera in at home,
yeah.
and that is my number one upload client,
Mhm.
and it has uploaded 33 gigabytes.
Yeah.
Uh, what I can't figure out is what that numbers mean time wise, because I'm trying to find out. But that's my number one uploader. Now, I stream content from my Plex server, right, to a few friends. You're one of them.
Yeah.
So, and that is only second place. So, looks like a smart home that sends a video feed right online
Mhm.
that can take some bandwidth. But then again, even if it's 33 gigabytes just this month, let's say that's the case, it's still spread on a month, right?
Right.
So we're not talking about very high speeds. We're talking about a lot of aggregated data, but we're not talking about like congesting the line.
Right.
And that, right? So I don't know what, and if
But
you and if anybody that listens to us, right, is planning to network their home with cameras, then I would say don't even send those feeds online. Don't even bother. Buy a local DVR, right? If you want to create backups, great, but you're still using a single point of upload with something that will encode properly on the sending station. So
right.
I don't see how it won't be enough. 100 how 100 would not be enough
But they
for a
have
power user with 5 people living at the home, and guests coming in that night.
I know
It's yeah, yeah. I would
it's
I would spend my money. I would say this, right? I would spend my money on very good networking equipment inside the home,
right.
right? That's the lessons that the lesson that I can give from my past 6 months. Uh, yeah, around I think maybe February or March, I installed my new network,
Right.
and
It was
this network cost me a lot of money compared to any other network equipment that I bought in the past. I wouldn't pay more than $100 on something before,
right.
right? And now I splurged. I bought $500 worth of equipment, but
But it works.
I am enjoying every moment because I do not need to think about it. It is not an issue anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It is always working, and that um, lower your external bandwidth and buy perfect networking equipment for home, and you won't look back.
Well, you went with top of the line stuff. I mean, but you did, but
I mean, it definitely. I wouldn't say top of the line. You can definitely pay a lot more than what I did, but I went with very
Brands, yeah.
what is going on? What's it? Your audio is going. It it's now there's a little echo, like it's almost like you switched microphones and it went back. That's
It's on my
interesting.
end. If you can hear me, I'll be
Yeah,
back.
no, I can hear you. It's fine. Why you can't hear?
Can you hear me? I cannot hear you. Okay.
Uh-oh.
I
So
see a
something did
problem.
reset, maybe.
Now I can hear you. It's something with the phone. It just switched off Bluetooth.
Yeah, it actually got a little louder and there was no room echo. It's almost like you were talking. Let's see. Flick your mic. Flick it. Guess not. Hey, that's not the microphone you're using.
That's supposed to be the microphone.
Flick it. Flick it. Nope.
Really?
Nope.
That's weird because I can hear you now through the headset.
Well, yeah, but the microphone may not. Hold the microphone.
Are you saying this is the microphone you're hearing?
No, I don't hear
sound?
that either. Yeah. Yep. Wait.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's weird. Now you're from the phone.
Yeah. So
as long as it works.
no, that's how it was all along.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but suddenly in the last minute or two, you went real loud and no echo, so I had to lower it, but then it went back. So for a second, your
weird.
mic in the headset started working, and then it went back to the phone. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Don't know.
I will work on it later.
Let me try something. Testing 1, 2, 3.
That's not it.
So I muted my mic.
Yeah, that's you sound the same.
Oh, so when I said testing 1, 2, 3, you heard the words?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow, that's weird. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looks
No,
like
you
on
are.
the phone has some sort of bug. Yeah.
It's not connecting to your phone. The headset is not connecting to your phone. Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. It's fine. Now I forgot what were we talking about?
We finished talking about networking.
So the 2 gigabits is 100, and the 2 gigabit service comes with the Google Fiber multi-gig router. So that's another thing that I mean, now you're gonna have to have their stuff, and it uses Wi-Fi 6, which is nice.
Yeah.
So
It's nice.
Yep. So that's the thing in general. The customers who aren't in Nashville or Huntsville can sign up to test 2 gigabit service through the company's trusted tester program. I mean, I guess they're gonna launch it in other cities, but not yet. So it's interesting.
It is. It is interesting. But again, I doubt we're there. I doubt.
I mean,
other than hearing shows like ours talk about it, blogs, tech blogs talking about it and testing it, and they'll rate it and rave about it and say, I doubt there'll be a single person who will deep down inside will feel this is exactly what I need.
Yeah. But yeah, they're talking about reliability also now, and what was it? I think it was Monday. Yeah, Monday evening, like about 5:30. I noticed that one of my servers, went down, or it got disconnected. I said, So I click again. Nope, and it was the mail server. Okay. Normally, if there is a break in the line somewhere or routing program problem, then all the servers will be unreachable by me. But that doesn't mean that they're not working and other people cannot get to them. So when I saw that that they were doing the same thing, only one of them was not working, I knew there was something wrong. So I went and I opened the ticket and asked them if they had a problem. And right away, I got a notice that we were notified that there was a problem with the host that your server is running on, and we need to do some maintenance on it, so it may be down for a while. Then I called Ron and I said, so what can you get? And he said, oh, yeah, this must be just where this one server is on. Half an hour later, it just came back. And I called Ron and I said, yeah, it's okay. He said, you see, this is so nice. He said, now you didn't have to go all the way up to North Raleigh and try to figure out what's going on and all that, and maybe change drive and all. Yeah, they did it. And so it was down for about half an hour, 45 minutes. Nobody called. Nobody complained. It was after hours. And I had to tell him, I said, yeah, it is great. So things like that do happen, but it's worth getting something from a company, even paying a little bit more, but the service is there. Oh, I was just reading the chat. Let's go a little bit for.
So what's that?
Yeah, now you're on the microphone.
I think I figured out what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of loud now. So talk.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Sorry about that, guys. This is a new studio, so this studio away from home.
Yeah.
I'll try to picture. I'll try to find a way of picturing how this.
Nah. Keep talking.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
It's all. It doesn't sound right. It's almost like you're talking with a speech impediment. Like 1, 2, 3.
So that's
you
probably
see
something with the Bluetooth.
I couldn't
1,
tell
2,
you.
3, 1. That's what I told you, that I was hearing you with a delay. Maybe the delay is because of the Bluetooth.
just go ahead and say yes, 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 yes.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes,
It
yes,
sounds like
yes.
yes, 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 yes. It's
Okay.
something to do with the
So something to do with the way the microphone
yeah,
picks up my voice.
it's I know it's not you. Switch it back.
Okay. I'll
Okay,
I'll try.
all right, never mind.
Now I can hear you, but
Yeah.
you might hear an echo of yourself.
No. I'm hearing you the same way now. There's no echo, and the echo I was talking about. I hear it's not an echo. It is your room. I can tell that you're in a room.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, that's the echo. I'm not talking about an echo. No, that's not what I'm talking about.
So, but the problem is, before it was like this Frankenstein situation where I would hear the audio here, but now I had to. The only way I could take it out is by moving to the speaker.
You're fine.
So now I hear you from the phone. As long as you do not hear yourself as an echo, we're good.
No, I don't. I mean,
Okay.
And if anybody else out there is hearing anything that they shouldn't be hearing, I doubt it. It sounds perfect.
Sarid is giving me an okay.
All right. All right.
By the way, he did have something interesting. You mentioned the data cap that AT&T put.
Yeah.
So he said that he had the same situation, and for an extra $10 a month, they removed the cap.
I think it's extra 30.
Well, maybe it depends on the speed that you have, but he's on fiber, so.
Yeah, you see, I'm not. We don't have fiber yet. If you have more, it may be that, but I know that it's either pay $30 more or get direct TV.
I see.
Then they remove the cap, but I don't care about the cap. The cap, like I said, it never reached it, and until the end of the year, all this year, there was no cap.
Okay,
it's fine. But talking about cutting cords, the Discovery Channel is the latest media company to jump into the ever more crowded streaming wars. It will launch its streaming service, Discovery Plus, on January 4th. The service will include a $4.99 per month ad-supported tier and a $6.99 per month ad-free tier.
The idea of paying and getting ads.
I know that's kind of ridiculous.
That's evil. That's not ridiculous. That's evil.
Yeah.
Limit the content, but don't put ads on it.
Well, the thing is, I mean, how much is Hulu now?
I don't know.
It's not cheap.
Tracking Hulu.
It's not cheap. It's not cheap at all. And they have commercials. They actually have commercials. Why people?
They have two tiers as well.
I don't know.
They have a commercial tier and a one without. So.
Well, I don't know.
Hulu no ads is $12 a month.
Oh.
And Hulu per month is $6, but that's with ads.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I know we're
that's on their site.
Okay, so maybe that's what it is. Interesting.
They do have. You're talking about the Hulu Live TV. The Hulu Live TV, that's $55 a month with ads, and so that's Hulu with the ads and live TV, and that's $55 a month.
Yeah, no,
but that's like the YouTube TV offering, right? So
right. That's the other word for it is ridiculous.
But I mean, replacing cable with IP-based cable, it's cable.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we talked about it again and again.
Yep.
You can get Plex. You don't even have to have the server. You just have to subscribe to Plex.
Yeah. I agree.
which is
last week
free.
when I looked,
Which is free,
pretty
right?
amazing.
Yeah.
Completely free.
Yeah.
You do not even need an account.
A what?
You just go to the player and you start watching. You don't need an account to
Interesting.
start watching. Yeah, it's as free as that.
And it's full of content. I mean, it is loaded with content. So
yeah, people should definitely give it a try at app.plex.tv. It's ridiculous what they're doing. And on top of that, you really want to make it your own, right? You just install for free. You install the application on your server, and you can watch your home movies, and you can watch family photos. You can share it with other family members outside of the house.
Right.
That the whole philosophy and mechanics of the Plex server, it fuses together and works so well, right? That it is surprising at one end, and and awe-striking at the other. It's
unbelievable, unfreaking believable.
Yeah.
And I gotta say thanks again and again for making me aware of it and fixing it up.
Shalom.
Hello, shalom.
Hello.
Mask. You putting it together for me was unbelievable. I mean, I can't even describe it. It's and you know what I did yesterday? So we got we watch live TV off the air also.
Yeah.
And in the kitchen we have the TV that has one of them flat antennas.
Oh, okay.
And it was messing up. I said, let me try something. We always had a coax that was going from the cable box where it was teeing off the cable box.
Okay.
And we were feeding our big TV and the kitchen TV with the same picture. So if you change anything in the living room, it changes it in the kitchen. So I said, let me try something. So I went ahead and I teed it off the other way. I took the antenna and into the input of that little splitter and put one into the HD home run to watch off the air in the living room to feed Plex. Yeah. And the other one, I connected that cable that goes into the kitchen, coax.
Okay.
And I changed the wire on the antenna. So now it's great. I mean, it's not rocket science. So both TVs are using the same antenna.
Right. But you were using a different antenna before, and now you're using the same antenna that DVR uses.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, it's independent. I mean, we can't use the DVR and all that, but it's an antenna that is outside, and it's a great antenna thanks to Sarid. It's the Clear Stream. And now I don't have any problems in the kitchen either. All the channels and everything is coming in right. So now I have to do the same thing for the bedroom, because on the bedroom there was also coax coming from Time Warner, from Spectrum TV to the bedroom, which we did away with. So
you're talking about this solution because those televisions are not smart in any way.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. And I don't want to get into anything smart about them. I mean, sure, you can connect it in a way that you can use
you can always add and all that.
But there's no, no. I mean, all I want is just to watch a couple of channels, and that's it. Off the air is perfect.
Yep.
So I'm going to try and use that same cable. It is an RG 59, not RG6. But it's enough. It's enough for an antenna. It's working. It worked the kitchen. We'll see if the run all the way to the bedroom works also. That'll be great.
Yeah, I doubt. As long as the cable itself is
It's good.
grounded,
Yeah.
right, shielded, I don't think you'll have any
Yeah.
problems. It's not.
So there's
You can run you can circumvent the house twice and still won't have problems. Yeah.
So yeah, it's the antenna can serve more than one TV with no problems.
Yeah. It's a shared media.
Yeah.
It's an RF signal that comes in. Yeah.
Right.
So Alan is saying something completely true in the chat. Among Plex, Peacock, Sling, Lowcast, YouTube, using an ad blocker, what else is needed? I don't think anything else is needed. Definitely. And Alan, I don't have an answer yet because I haven't really tested. I can tell you that I have my parents hooked up to my Plex server at home, so they're in Israel, and they watch content hosted on my my home server.
And you had it like that for a while now. It's not because you're there now.
They've been using it for a while. They're not. They haven't used a lot of content. But yesterday we watched the movie from the Plex server and it streamed just fine. I didn't see any buffering issues. I didn't need to change anything about the quality or anything like that. So I haven't done a speed test yet for the house here because I am interested to see what type of connection to my home server is. But overall, works pretty well.
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't tried any official, other than YouTube, I haven't tried any official content, so can't say about what they're doing there. I do know that services like Netflix and Hulu and all that, they have IP region blocking or IP region-based content. A lot of people do subscribe to Netflix over here in Israel and use it without a VPN, but they get a different offering of content than what we get in the States. The same goes for Europe. In Germany, you'll get, I remember flying with my kid a couple of years ago through Germany, and in the airport, we got The Big Bang Theory on Netflix, something that does not exist on Netflix in the States, right? So it really depends where you're getting the content from.
Well, you don't need a VPN, obviously. You can
not for Plex,
right?
No.
Everything
you
works.
Might need it for region spoofing, right? For something
if
like
you're
Netflix.
gonna right.
But even then, because it is against the end user license, right? Netflix does actively block IP subset that they know belong to VPN providers.
Yeah.
And there are some VPN providers that are trying to chase the IP block. So they try to, allocate different IPs and make changes. But at a certain time, it'll get blocked.
It'll get blocked, and you have to go. Yeah. But you can have the whole family hooked to your Plex server, and they can all. And if you give them their own account, which you do, then they can have their own DVR. Right. They can they can record what they want.
Tracking their own everything.
Right.
Yeah. For a DVR, specifically for live TV, let's say you wanted to share with Hannah, your daughter, right?
Yeah.
Your live TV reception.
Right.
The only way for that to work in Plex is by assigning HANA as a home user.
Right.
And the difference between a home user and a non-home user, just a friend that you're sharing with, is the amount of access that user gets. And I'll explain. So even if you, Kathy, and Hannah have 3 different Plex accounts, and I'm talking, there's something called a managed account. I'm not talking about a managed account. I'm talking about actual Plex logins.
Yeah.
And only your account is considered the owner, the manager of the server. But when either accounts will log in, because they're all home accounts, when they log in and open the Plex application, it'll ask them, which one of the 3 are you? And it's just a click away. Now you can lock that account behind a password, a PIN code, a 4-digit PIN code that you can put in with the remote. But that means that nobody needs to know your username password. Any of the username passwords will work, and knowing the PIN, right?
Right.
So I think the reasoning behind it is they needed to be sure that legally they're not making live TV, which had a whole slew of lawsuit over the years about remote receiving of live feeds, right? They wanted to make sure that they're not exposing anybody. You do not give that access to anyone outside of your home.
Right.
And that's the logic behind it. You can still do it with a friend and tell him, never enter any of my family's profile and use the trust system and all that, or put everything behind pins. But I think not a bad architecture, right? I understand the limitations where they come from, but that means that live streaming and DVR that is managed on your server will only be available for your home users and not for
right. And when
any friends. Yeah.
When you say live streaming, you're talking about off the air.
Off the air, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, today it's really it's not rocket science to set up, to put an antenna somewhere. By the way, Spence just did also in his house.
Yeah.
And
we'll hear from him, from his experience. It's interesting. What did he end up buying?
He ended up getting something that I can't remember what it was. He had one.
The Fire TV, right?
What?
The Fire TV. He ended up buying the Fire TV replay, Fire replay.
The something cast. What is it? Something
recast. Yeah.
But the antenna that he had was not bringing him all the channels that he wanted.
Okay.
And there was no way to adjust it or whatever. So he was reading, and he said that they recommended to get another antenna that goes in line with this one. I said, Spence, you're making a big to-do out of that whole thing. It's simple. I said, I would just buy a good antenna. And I told him, I said, look, Sarit told me about this Clearstream, and it's great. And he already got that one. So he said he took the other one. He put that one in, and just by putting the one that he told him to add to the other one, he's getting 60-some channels.
Okay.
So he just replaced the other one, and it's working. It's fine. So he may have paid a little bit more, but it's fine. He's happy.
It's like Wi-Fi. You need to buy it one time, a good one.
That's it. And I'm telling you that Clearstream is, for our area anyway, the Clearstream is unfreaking believable. Because remember I was telling you that we had pixelation and all that?
Yeah.
And I went and I started adjusting it up on the roof and all that, and got a rotor, which is still in the box. In reality, it wasn't that. And right now I have the antenna a completely different way that it was in the beginning. It's still getting all the channels. So I think it doesn't matter which direction it's pointing. it will get all the channels. So you buy and not now that antenna is about 80 some dollars, but you find it on
Yeah.
eBay. I mean, I found the one for the bedroom on eBay. It was $41, $38. It was 41 with shipping.
Okay.
So you can find them if you're looking, and it's a good antenna. It works. I have it inside, and it's fine, but it's a little bit bulky for where it's at. So that's why I'm thinking about hooking it to the one on the outside. But it's yeah, get a good antenna to begin with. Listen to when I actually called the company Clearstream, and
Okay.
the guy online in support asked me for my zip code, and I gave it to him, and he was just saying, "Oh man, you're in an area that you can get anything, no matter where the antenna is pointing." But he said, but it in the beginning I had to move it one way or another because of channel 4. But now I know it's not that it ran in, but it's
No,
just
you did put it higher.
I put it
You did
higher. Yeah,
eventually
that's
just
right.
put it a
Yeah,
bit
I
higher.
did put it higher. That's
Yeah.
correct. It was on the
Yeah.
soffit before. Now it's on a little post on the antenna, just like on the chimney, just like a regular TV antenna used to be in the early days. Uh, it's a good antenna will give you everything local, and that's why. I mean, why would anybody in Illinois be interested of getting my live feed off the air? I mean, it doesn't make sense. Just buy yourself a $50 antenna, hook it, and you got all your local stations there. Why would you? I mean, if you want to get live TV, then it's mainly because of the news. Because all the other programs are sooner or later on online, and you can find them here and there. Hannah is not using the live TV. She was going to, but she's not. She's got her own antenna.
Mhm.
So
Right.
it's something that you need to sit down and plan. I did not plan. I planned it after the fact, but I was lucky to have you and Saeed and the fact that I understand a little bit about the whole thing to come up with the right solution. But it is not rocket science, people. I'm telling you, it is not. And you can save a lot of money. You ought to try it. And when they do, they can stuff monthly payment. Yep. I mean, I said it before, and I'll say it again. Our bill with Spectrum was $212. Cutting off the TV and just staying with 400 megabits internet is now $79. So it's a lot of savings. And a lot of the programs that we were watching are on that one channel that is not on local cable. Antenna TV. I mean, I said, "Oh, wait a second. What? How come they have Hazel? How come they have And then you realize, yeah, they just don't put that because they're making money from giving it to you through cable. Yes, there are other channels that if you're used to, it'll take time to get used to not having them, but it's not the end of the world. So yeah, think about it. All right. Here's another interesting story. 9 to 5 Mac reports that Apple announced a repair program for a small percentage of iPhone 11s 11s manufactured between November 2019 and May 2020, where the display stops responding to touch. The replacement program is exclusive to the regular iPhone 11 model and does not apply to the iPhone 11 Pro or iPhone 11 Pro Max. So I guess it's iPhone 11s, not 11s. Users can check the Apple support website to find out if their iPhone 11 is eligible for the replacement program using its serial number. Apple will replace the affected iPhone 11 for free. The repair program covers affected iPhone 11 models for 2 years after the first retail sale of the unit. Apple may refuse free technical support for devices with physical damages. So apparently it stopped responding when you do stuff on the screen, like the touch screen went away. They will replace that for free. So follow the, I mean, I would call the Apple store and just ask them. If you're not sure the serial number and manufacturing date and all that, they will tell you what it is. But it's available and they're going to fix it. They're going to replace the phone, which is interesting.
The phone stops responding to touch.
Yeah.
And it's a phone from May 2019.
It's from November.
Sounds like a socially distancing phone.
Finger distancing, you mean?
That sounds dirty.
Again, fiber. Verizon has agreed to bring Fios fiber to the home service to another 500,000 households in New York City by July 2023. If you live in New York, hey, settling a lawsuit.
Well, that's good news. That's after they announced that they're not going to expand Fios.
That they're not going to bring it to more people. Like you know,
Yeah.
I got Fios because I want. You told me that, and now you're telling me no. So they were sued.
Yeah. Remember.
So this is their way of settling a lawsuit over Verizon's failure to wire up the entire city as required in a franchise agreement. And they saying today's settlements will ensure that 500,000 households that previously lacked Verizon broadband access because of a corporate failure to invest in the necessary infrastructure will have the option of fiber broadband and create critical cost competition in areas where today only one provider exists. So the little people won here.
Yeah.
Yep. They're gonna. Yeah. They will make it right. Apparently, I mean, by 2023. I mean that you don't know when it's going to happen. Obviously.
Well, but there is an expiration date for it, meaning if they delay, they'll probably be fines. So
I mean, you know, it depends on what kind of fine they're going to get. If it's going to cost them billions of dollars to wire 500,000 homes, I mean, 500,000. It's not homes. 500,000. What did they call it? People. You at the end, you don't do it, and you get fined $50 million. Hey, that's fine. It's a whole lot less than what it's gonna cost us. The companies are known to do this, but I doubt that at that point there'll be other companies. So I doubt people will have to resort to that if that happens.
Yeah.
And HP Enterprise is the latest tech company to shift its focus away from Silicon Valley, announcing Tuesday that it will relocate its headquarters from San Jose, California to Houston, Texas. So HP,
Houston, Texas.
a lot of companies are moving to.
They already, there's a lot of focus in Houston.
Yeah.
They've already chosen a spot, or it's just another shopping around like the Amazon and Apple deal?
Well, they say it will relocate it. So it's obviously.
Okay.
And the article did say that they're not leaving California, that they have a big installation there, and they're just going to put everything, they're going to consolidate
instead
a lot
of expanding there, they're just
Right.
create a new site.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting.
What is Alan is saying? He said antenna TV, cozy, etc. might be on cable. That's right. That's correct. There were a bunch of channels that were hidden in between exactly what Alan is saying, religious, like now I forgot what it was that Kathy really wanted, but then it wasn't important. But yeah, and all of them are actually on the air when you go in. So I don't know that Antenna TV is somewhere. I think Antenna. I was just gonna imagine Antenna TV if they are their antenna. So I don't know if it's if they are hidden. I think I went looking a couple of times, and that's how I found the other channels. And now you see here, we were talking about fines and things like that. Here's Apple again. Italian regulators have fined Apple $12 million for making misleading and unfair claims about iPhone water resistance. First,
Whoa.
It says Apple made water resistance claims without making it clear to consumers that these were truly only in ideal laboratory conditions. And phones had not passed the same test in real life conditions. Second, and more seriously, Apple made iPhone water resistance claims in its marketing, but then refused warranty service on phones which suffered water damage.
Water damage, of course.
So who knows how much it would have cost them to change and to apparently the 12
just deal with the water damage.
Yeah, I mean, it's $12 million. $12
million, that's the suit?
That's what they were fined by Italy. That's by Italy, by the government.
That sounds too small.
I know.
Low.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Hey, yeah, sure. We're gonna do whatever we want. I will pay the $12 million.
Yeah.
See? Yeah. It's just ridiculous.
Sounds like they won again, even though the lawsuit says they lost.
Exactly. They won again. They sure did. Because remember, Apple is looking at what is our stock worth. And this does not bring the stock down. Well, by $1, by 10 cents, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I wonder if an Italian court, I wonder if now that basically opens
other countries
other
to
European
do?
courts, opens them to litigation. So maybe it's not the end of it.
Good point.
Yeah, if you're advertising water resistant and you're not accepting warranty replacement on water damage, you should be you should be slapped on the wrist hard.
And I wonder what kind of water they use in the lab. thick, real thick water.
No, they put it in the water and take it out.
It's only true in ideal laboratory conditions. Jeez. I don't know.
Yeah, that's bull.
Here's something else, since Microsoft is really pushing Edge and making it the default again and again. Microsoft has removed 18 Edge browser extensions from the Edge add-on portals after the extensions were caught injecting ads into users' web search result pages. The extensions were removed between November 20th and November 25th after Microsoft received multiple complaints from users via Reddit. A subsequent investigations found multiple abusive extensions that had been uploaded on Microsoft's new fledgling Edge add-on portal. According to a list shared by Microsoft Community Manager, the 18 extension can be grouped into two categories. The first one is for extensions that try to pass as an official version of various apps, even if those apps didn't have official version for Edge. This included NordVPN, AdGuard VPN, TunnelBear VPN, Unlock, AdBlock Plus, Grease Monkey, and Wayback Machine. So it seems like it's all for VPN and ad blocks, but they were actually injecting ads into the results.
Yeah.
So it's
luckily just ads doesn't sound like something more malicious.
Right. It wasn't malicious, but it just so people will know about this. I don't know. I always remove Edge from what I do, but it's
well, I can tell you
it works.
First of all, there's two Edges, right? There's two Edge, and they're talking about the Chrome-based Edge.
Yeah.
I can tell you that on my work computer, I use that exclusively. Because we can't use Firefox. Otherwise, I would use Firefox. So I can use either Edge or Chrome. And Edge, the way I see it right now, it is the best Chrome browser out there.
Wow.
Because it's built into the system, right? It doesn't have all of the Google crap in it.
Yeah.
Because Microsoft removed. Now, it's not like Microsoft replaced all of the Google crap with a ton of Microsoft crap, right? It's mostly removed. They obviously have a few of their own stuff there. I do not sync to their servers. Same thing that I did not do with the Chrome. So it's practically one of the best Chrome out there. It's not exactly Chrome. There are some sites that do not work well in Edge, but work okay in Chrome. I do not know the reason yet. It was like maybe 2 sites that I encountered, and I only visited them shortly. It wasn't something that was worth my time to investigate. But I see no problem with it. And the fact that I don't need to download another browser, on it's I find it okay. It's not a bad thing. But yeah, they need to clean up their act the same way the other browsers cleaned up their acts when it came to extensions and people trying to abuse the marketplaces. And sounds like they're doing an okay job. I don't know. Let's give them a chance.
No, absolutely.
Finally, they're doing something right in the internet arena.
Yeah, I know. They're always too little, too late, but they pick up. Yeah.
Yeah. If we go back memory lane, right, and we try to remember Microsoft's part in the browser war.
Yeah.
They might have introduced a lesser browser then, but they eventually became the de facto
Yeah.
default.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Of course, they had.
And they survived for a long time with that de facto default.
Yeah, but remember,
So,
they had an edge.
yeah, definitely they had an edge as being the OS supplier.
Yeah.
But the, I mean, look, looking at today's arena,
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft today, and this is not something. This is not an opinion of mine. This is not something disputed. Microsoft today provides the best development tools, right? They are the most invested in open source, right? I'm talking about like a large corporation that deal with non-open source software.
And they also came to open source.
GitHub, so
they did not jump on the open source train to begin with. They came late.
To begin with, no.
Yeah.
But they have embraced it today.
Right.
And all of these development tools that I'm talking about, right? Most of them, not all, but most of them, they're open source. So they have completely changed their essence from where they started. And that is a very interesting path to see happen, right? They started as this Apple wannabe, right?
Right.
Sort of, right? Especially when Windows and Lisa and all that in 1984 happened, right? And while Apple remained that way, Apple remained as close as possible as they can. They keep closing and clamping down.
Mm-hmm.
Open source is not in their vocabulary ever, right?
Right.
And they've become an Apple competitor, somebody that provides tools and software and OSs that compete with Apple, right? And embracing open source. They're not completely open source. They're not pure communism utopia, right? They haven't changed their dots completely, right? They're still, in the essence, they're this software company that creates a lot of software for profit. But the tools around it, the tooling that they have created around it is phenomenal. I'm talking as a developer,
Mm-hmm.
right? Comparing the tools that are provided elsewhere, they are phenomenal. And most of them today are either free or open source. And so for me as a hobby developer or as a professional developer, right? Staying in this ecosystem and working within it is no longer a badge of shame. It's no longer
right, that's what it used to be, right?
I do no longer feel like I'm colluding with the forces of evil anymore, right?
Evil empire.
It's no longer this evil empire.
Yeah.
And I really hope that they'll continue this trend, right? And not, shift direction completely. But yeah, it is a very interesting transition, because there was a time where we loved hating Microsoft for being Microsoft.
Sure. A lot of people still do.
Yeah. And I'm saying, reevaluate the reality, because things have changed.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I went into the spiel. I don't work for them. They don't pay me. I just like what they provide. So, yeah.
And they are changing some of the update features.
Oh, interesting.
They say Microsoft has started testing smaller feature updates for Windows 10 in the form of a Windows Feature Experience Pack. The branding appeared in... Huh?
They used to do something like that.
I don't know. They said
they called it Power Toys. Remember those?
No.
I think there's still a Power Toys package for Windows 10, which adds like additional features and stuff like that.
They said the branding appeared inside Windows 10 earlier this year, but Microsoft has only confirmed what the packs will be used for this week. The Windows Feature Experience Pack will be used to improve certain features and experiences that are now developed independently of the OS, according to Microsoft. The first feature pack has been released to Windows 10 beta tester last week, and it includes the ability to use the built-in screen snipping app to paste screenshots directly into folders within the File Explorer. The pack also includes a split keyboard mode for 2-in-1 touch devices. So it looks like it's something new that they're just starting. So I don't know.
Interesting. Very interesting.
That's what I thought Nick was saying, that he got in very late last night and just got up. So that's fine.
That's fine.
Absolutely fine. And ain't nothing wrong with that. That's he's in that age.
So we can switch to Hebrew. I don't think our listeners will mind.
No, they won't. I mean, a lot of the listeners, when I talk to some of the people that are listening, they say, "Boy, everything is so over my head." I mean, there's a bunch of people.
So we're going to go very, very technical. As אני אומר לך,
כן, נו.
עזוב.
אנחנו יכולים, you know. No, we shouldn't. We shouldn't. That's not. Yeah. That's
no,
not.
We're just
joking.
It's yeah. We're just having fun.
That is just having fun. That's all it is.
Yeah. Any new? So what else is new?
Samsung. This is kind of, I don't understand. Samsung may discontinue its premium Galaxy Note phone next year. This is coming from Reuters.
Okay.
Citing sources with knowledge of the matter, a move that would reflect a sharp drop in demand for high-end smartphones due to the coronavirus pandemic. It says the Galaxy Note, known for its large screen and a stylus for note-taking, is one of two Samsung premium phone series. The other being the more compact Galaxy S, which draws in consumers with its state-of-the-art parts. At present, the South Korean tech giant does not have plans to develop a new version of the Galaxy Note for 2021. 3 sources said that, declining to be identified as the plans were not public. Instead, the Galaxy S series, top model, the S21, will have a stylus, and the next version of Samsung's foldable phone will be compatible with a stylus, which should be sold separately. So,
right, so they're dropping the name, but they're just incorporating the stylus into the S.
Into another, yeah. But anyway you look at it, any way you look at it, this has a negative connotation. Because, I mean, we're gonna discontinue that. Well, then I'm not gonna buy one. That's a negative thing, any way you look at it.
But that's what I'm trying to understand, if the wording is Samsung's or the reporter, right? It's we're making
that's a good point. That's a good point.
You're right, because I'm guessing this was all hidden in some marketing spiel saying we're merging the two lines, the two very successful lines.
Okay, yeah.
Into this new one.
That will sound completely different. I agree. Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. Good.
Yeah. So I mean, but even if it is right, it's about it's still going to be available in the same. So all the features you wanted from the Note. The Note was always an S with a Note, basically. And sometimes it was actually like a previous generation S with a Note, because the S will be the one that is like top of the line, flagship. This is our best technology ever. And the Note will usually have the same technology as S had last year, and
Okay.
just have a stylus. So it sounds like they're no longer chasing it. One thing I find interesting, though, is that they keep investing in the stylus. And from all the Note owners that I've known, and me included, and my
Nobody's
wife,
using it.
my mom, friends, I haven't seen a single person really using the stylus
Yeah.
more than just checking the gimmick out and losing the pen. So it's like, somehow it feels, I'm not saying there aren't people who really need it,
Right.
but somehow Samsung is keeping it. It sees the stylus as something to keep investing in, and I find that interesting, because I do know of a very small percent of people that they do find the stylus very, very useful. Drawing, sketching.
On the
People
phone, on a Note,
who need.
what is the size of the screen?
It's like my phone.
Yeah.
You've seen my phone. Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
this 5.5, 6.5 inch.
so
It's when the Note came out, it was created to be. They used to call them phablets, phones with a
phablets. Yeah.
tablet with
Yeah.
a phone,
Yeah.
right? And that was like it was supposed to enter that niche and create the niche of larger phones, basically. But larger phones today are the norm, right? The old
Right.
initial touch-sized phones that we talked about, iPhone, the original ones, the original Androids, those are mini today. And the normal sized ones are the large screen, the Pro and the Pro XL and all those, right? And the Note was supposed to be like this, slightly larger than our large phone, and plus it had that stylus, which was unique to Samsung. Yeah, artistic people, when they get the opportunity and they have a place to express their artistic ability, something like a stylus can be of help, can be meaningful. Are they using it as their exclusive scratch pad? No. But if they're on the way and they need to jot an idea, it is very helpful.
Yeah, but you
But
can use your finger.
there's a lot of technology going into the stylus, right? Handwriting.
Sure.
I've never seen people really use that. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I haven't been exposed to it. So, and that's why I find the fact that they are going to keep investing in the stylus and incorporate the stylus in the S series is like they see value. They probably. I mean, it translates to
Obviously,
numbers for them.
yeah, they do
Yeah,
see value. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing it.
exactly.
I was just thinking. I've got about 4 or 5 pens, styluses from
Yeah.
some time. I mean, all they are, it's like a pen that the body of it is
No,
grounded.
the Note one is not just something passive. It
Oh,
is a very interesting piece of technology, actually,
okay.
because even though it doesn't have a power source of its own,
Uh-huh.
right? The when you take the stylus close to the phone already detects where the stylus is. You haven't touched it yet. You can draw on the phone, obviously, and so that touch means something. But you can also click. There's usually some sort of groove that you can click on, and that is registered by the phone. And all of that is powered by the phone, not by anything. There's no active electricity going on through, so there's no battery or anything in the stylus. But it's more like an RFID that makes some change in the coding while you click it and stuff. So the technology is actually quite nice. It's a very novel approach to stylus. But again, it seems that Samsung sees a very large customer base that is actually using it, and that's interesting. That's what I find interesting.
So
it's not that they're discontinuing to develop anything about the stylus, is they're just moving it to the main attraction, right? Having it being part of it. So,
but let me ask you this. So if you go to the app that you can use the stylus in to draw, and using your finger instead, it will not draw?
Yeah, it will.
It will. So those pens that I'm talking about that I have, which are passive, all they are is just like an extension of your finger.
Yeah, they are just to replace your finger. Yeah.
So that will work also. And that
yes and no. So again, you won't have that second button. That second button has
understand.
Functionality.
I understand. But
yes.
to draw, so that means that you can use any phone with a stylus like that, the passive ones, because it's just an
theoretically. I would say theoretically, yes.
Yeah.
I doubt that there's anything special about the hardware itself of the phone for the stylus, other than the detection and all of that.
Yeah.
But the stylus itself, with its uniqueness, will not work on any phone. It needs a phone that will be compatible
the
with
Samsung
that
one.
Yeah.
Will want. Yeah. Interesting.
Look, we do see styluses today, right? Apple sells their pen. I think that's the name, right? And the Surface Books, they also have a stylus.
Yep.
And it seems that there are people that do find it very, very useful, right? Because it is something that if in the past it was, you had to buy some obscure piece of hardware from a manufacturer. I mean, Wacom was, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Yeah, I remember that name.
They used to, I guess they still do, create styluses, but they used to be like, they are the people you go to for styluses, right? Now the major hardware manufacturers that sell the big hardware, right? Apple, Microsoft, Samsung, they are in the stylus business. So it's suddenly not a niche so much as like mainstream. And that's interesting. That is interesting.
Well,
maybe we will start using styluses because they'll become so prevalent that the use cases will grow, right? When you have new technology and some use cases are created around it, the novelty, right, for most dies out quickly. That's why I mentioned most people I've seen, they either play with it and eventually lose the pen because they haven't even noticed that it's missing, right? Because they don't use it. But if something exists so widespread, people start finding a lot more of use cases other than the designed ones. And that's when things become interesting. Suddenly you find that you can do things with the pen because it's so ubiquitous, because it's everywhere, right? Then using the pen suddenly adds a complete new dimension to usage that you've never seen before. But because it's available everywhere, then we start to see this innovation being, more accessible. So maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. Interesting. That's why I find it interesting, because I usually look for the novel approach, and I haven't found it with the pen until now. So,
well, I wish that I had a stylus for my phone every now and then, especially when I type in password. because on the phone keyboard, I mean, with the finger, sometimes it picks up another letter. And if you type,
And you think
type,
if you would have written the letters, you'll be more comfortable with it?
No. Just to use the stylus to go on the number 8 or on the A or on the Z instead of using your finger. And it's maybe because I'm just not proficient at how to use the keyboard on the phone because I don't use it much. But whenever I do it and it says, no, it's the wrong password, I say, what do you mean it's the wrong password? And then you go and you say to look at the password and say, oh, shoot, it picked up the H instead of the J. I say, boy, if I had a stylus, I could just think. But then.
No, all you need is Bitwarden. That'll solve all your problems. That's why I didn't understand, because I don't have that problem, because I let the vault enter my password.
Yeah, I understand.
I fat finger a lot, but with passwords you do not see it, right?
Yeah.
With the vault you don't worry about it. So.
No.
So yeah, I think the next project for you, Amnon, is Bitwarden. Going deep into Bitwarden.
Join the 21st century. Yeah. Yep. I know. All right. Well, I'm out of stories.
I think we're out of time as well, no?
Oh yeah. It's
almost
that time of day.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have anything special. I've thought about, things I saw during my trip here, if anything would strike,
Did you fly direct from
RDU? No, from RDU to Dallas in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And from there to Israel.
Okay, so you did not stop anywhere in Europe to see what's...
No. I'm guessing if I had to stop in Europe, everything will be 10 times more complicated COVID-wise. So that wasn't an option I looked for.
No.
Israel, to enter Israel, and I'm talking about as an Israeli citizen, so I don't know if it matches the experience of non-Israeli citizens. There are 2 forms that you need to fill up online. So this was a bit ridiculous, the process around this. So you have to fill up the form 24. So there's 2 forms. One form you fill out before you board the flight. Mm-hmm. And that form can be filled in 24 hours before the flight. The other form you need to fill in 24 hours before you enter Israel. So I had to wait. Once I could fill out the first form, I still had to wait for the second form. And when you want to board an Israel, this isn't new. When you want to board a flight to Israel, usually the gates are completely sealed off.
Right.
You go through another security check before you just are allowed to just sit at the gate and wait.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot enter the closed out gates area unless you show proof that you filled up the forms, and the proof is the PDF you got via email. So you show them. Some people you can print out the PDF obviously, right. but most people, they just keep everything in their phone. And people took screenshots and stuff, but they either took screenshot of something that is not relevant to what the person is looking for. So everybody was starting to look in for their email and find the PDF, and it was like this, I don't know, this bad, sad comedy of events. People fiddling around just to enter the gate and get approved to board the plane. And these forms are all because of COVID, right? So it's like this new process, but it isn't streamlined. You don't get a barcode at the end they can scan, something that people are already accustomed to.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a person looking at your phone, trying to find a detail that they know is familiar from a form
Mm-hmm.
that the Israeli government issues via PDF. It was this like this shouldn't be this way. So that was a bizarre experience.
Bad developer. Bad
It was,
developer.
it's an underdeveloped process, right? You already have an online form. Seems like the Israeli government knows how to deal with those, right? They've been doing it for a while. I mean, everything internal in Israel today is online, same like the States. So you got that section, but your field people, right? You have not equipped them with how to deal with this new process. So if something ad hoc comes on, they do not have a way of actually working with it. And it's not a representative of the Israeli government that is checking my
Phone.
documents.
Mm-hmm.
Is a representative of the airline, right?
Mm-hmm.
They just want to make sure that they are not fined because they allowed someone to board the plane that shouldn't arrive.
Yeah.
So, right. So it's like this. We took care of our end. Now it's your problem, right? A very, very Israeli approach.
Interesting.
That we know that. Yeah. On the flight itself, it's pretty standard. They did have Wi-Fi offering, but that cost money, and I had no reason to
How much?
buy that.
What was it?
They had, I think you could buy an hour of internet for $5, 2 hours for $8, and for the entire flight pay $55. So
And
if you're a business person,
and that's about
I'm
what,
guessing that
14 hours, 13 hours?
no, 11 hours flight.
Okay.
So yeah. So I mean, it's if internet connection throughout the flight is something important to you, it's available. I even for chatting, I mean,
Nah.
so I won't be available for 11 hours. The moment I land, the airport has free Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to communicate with the world. Also, my phone, I use T-Mobile, and the plan has international roaming, so I can chat with the entire world if I need. So it's not a problem.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Did you sleep any?
So yeah. Unfortunately not. Usually I do sleep at flights, and the flight was empty, so there was room and stuff. But no, didn't sleep. Got here. I think I dozed off for a couple of hours, then went late at night to sleep, but slept the entire night. So let's see how next night will treat me. But I do not feel jet lagged. We'll see.
No.
Yeah.
All right.
I think going back home will be a lot tougher, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the changes being going on the minus side instead of the plus side.
Right.
So yeah.
But it'll be, this too shall pass.
Oh yeah.
All right, Gal. It was fun.
Indeed.
Take care of yourself. Have fun.
And I'll see you next week.
We will see each other before that. You sitting there the whole time. I'll make sure to disturb you.
Well, I'm here when it's morning for you. It's already midday for me. So
yeah, it's 7 hours or 8 hours. 7 hours.
7.
Yeah. All right.
So it's not the first international broadcast, though. You do have guests from the UK from time to time.
Yeah, we did, but this is for a host of the show. That's I think that's a first. A host show, and I gotta say again, I mean, it doesn't feel like you are on the other side of the world. It looks like you're other than the
Zoom
background.
Good, I guess
nice.
Zoom has good good infrastructure around
Yeah,
here.
it's
Otherwise,
nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll Nick, if you're listening, go back to sleep. And I would say good morning to Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Katie, and Donna, Dina, Arlet, and Micha. Thanks, everybody, for tuning to Computers 2K. Now, we hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing. Back up your hard drive and update your virus scanner. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at computers2know.com. And again, tonight at 7 o'clock, Nick does his Against the Norm show at atnshow.com. If you're in Wilmington, you can tune into WFBT 106.7. And Tuesday, Nick does his and Brian's, with an I, infection podcast show at 7 o'clock in the evening on Twitch. See you next week, everybody.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Telestream's Wirecast software, StreamingGear.com, Carolina Apparel, and DeltaForce.net.